We're back here at the GSL Codas watching the story unfold between MVP and Nestea. Right now at 1-1.
This is like in any of those epic battles where we have like a Kamehameha against whatever, and it's like in the middle, and it's like going back and forth like this.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what it's like.
That is actually what this is. These two are locked in on each other, going in for the kill, and it's a mental game in their head. They're both good enough to kill the other player and to not die to the other player. And it's suddenly Nestea thinks about $50,000 and his goes this way, and then MVP thinks about $50,000 and it goes this way, and then Nestea thinks about fourth championship and it goes this way, and then MVP does the same, and it just keeps going back and forth, man. And eventually, one of them will break.
I don't know who that's going to be at this point in time.
But unlike Cell, they aren't pansies. Even if all their cells are destroyed, they will regenerate.
Of course. This is like watching Solid Snake and Liquid Snake fight, but I don't know who Solid Snake and I don't know who Liquid Snake is yet. And they play different races.
Nestea is Plasma Snake.
Oh, my God.
He's a better form of matter.
He's not like Gas Snake or whatever. It's
Gaseous
like,
Snake?
God, Gas Snake. Like, he can never win a fight. All right. All right. The map is now Tal'Darim Altar.
Sick map for this matchup.
It's
Reactor Hellion expansion. Here we come.
Get ready. All right, the game is now loading. MVP, the Game Genie Terran against Professor T, a.k.a. Nestea. The two best players in the world. Whoever wins this probably will go into the finals and will probably win, the GSL finals at BlizzCon. It could, you could have an upset, but really, let's face it, guys, that's a pretty accurate statement, what I just said. All right. So get ready for a pivotal point in this series. Somebody's going to have to break this. Somebody's going to have to take a lead. Who's it going to be, our Terran or our Zerg? Thank you to our sponsors. In the upper right, we have him, the Game Genie Terran. His ID.
I am MVP.
Sounds like he says I am MVP. The V and the B sound are similar in Korean. And now to the bottom right. He's killed so many nerds. The greatest Zerg so far in StarCraft 2.
I am nasty.
You are so nasty, Kerrigan.
Tasteless when I look at
But really,
these.
it probably sounds better if she says, I am nasty. I am nasty.
When I look at these two players, Tasteless, I imagine the most decked out, fancy knight in MVP. He's got like the nicest, shiniest, newest armor and like, the greatest sword, and there's just tales of him from all over the land, and then he's going into this cave to battle a 9,000-year-old dragon that sits on top of gems.
Oh, dude, that's exactly what this is,
That's
man.
what it is, and Nestea's like 50 times his size, but MVP is like the sickest knight. He has like a flame retardant shield.
He has to, man. He's going against the Dragon Nestea.
He has the Excalibur sword.
Nestea's there with the Princess Kerrigan.
Nestea has one huge scar across his nostril by the same sword that MVP is carrying, passed down through generations to the greatest knight to try to take out the 9,000-year-old Dragon Nestea. That's what's happening right now. I want you guys to understand that.
That is actually what's going on here. We're witnessing esports history get made. Note he backed off the Overlord there. Oh, but MVP detects its presence. Or his or her presence. Just depends.
No matter what happens, bards in the future will sing tales of this day, Tasteless.
This is going to be going onto the walls of pyramids and stuff.
That's
People will
right.
never forget this.
Our civilization may be lost in 10,000 years, but when the aliens come, there will be records of this, at least.
At least.
And also Nestea will probably still be alive because he is indestructible.
He is going to go for Reactored Hellions again.
Yeah. That's like the opening on this map. You either go Command Center first because you're like a little bit wild, or you go for this on this map. That's just the way it is.
It just allows you to dominate the map so much.
Yeah. It's a perfect map for it, too. It's like a wide open choke. You can really run them by. It really puts the burden on Zerg to
It's an easy map
properly.
to drop the Zerg as well on later on if he does try to go for that playstyle. It looks like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say he's getting 2 gases right at once. So I think he's going to go 1 base Muta once again. We'll see, though.
All right, the spine crawler is almost complete. It looks like MVP's approach to playing against Nesty is to not do as much trickery. Remember last game, that did start out as a double proxy rush. A lot of times people actually forget how a game started. They just remember how the game ends. And, I think he's going to go back to what he did in game number 1, which is just try to out-control Nesty. He's saying, my control is better than yours. You're smart, you're good at doing what you do, but I'm just going to hinder you so much early on that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And, of course, Nesty doesn't even like that band. So
No, he doesn't.
One thing I do want to point out, it's going to be double reactor Hellions here for Nesty. And
this might actually throw a Nesty off big time.
Or rather, for MVP. We've been switching their names up a lot, actually.
Have we? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, the double reactored Hellion is so fearsome. By the time Zerg knows, oftentimes it's too late. They just run in and it's like, well, I have enough to kill everything you have now. And Zerg's like, oh, really? Oh. But he's already making roaches. He's skipped speed altogether. He says, no, I know this map. This is a Hellion map.
Uh-oh.
And I think Nesty's actually going to be fine against this, which is going to actually set MVP a bit behind. When you have 2 reactor Hellions, that's a lot of money put into that. And if they don't do a lot of damage, you're in trouble.
Now note, he's only showing 4 here. There's actually more Hellions rallied inside of his main. So he's actually going to open up the front door and just flood Nesty with Hellions. And Nesty will probably only have about 10 seconds to react. There we go. They're out.
They are indeed.
The Hellions are moving out now.
The flood of Hellions is coming, but Nesty has the Arc Roaches. Will he be able to save one of each drone queen and overlord? I think so, Tasteless.
We're going to find out. The Hellions are now moving down. About 9 of them here. The roaches are very well split up.
Trying to make a wall, but oh my god, he just runs by. Nesty's drones in the main are forfeit.
He's spreading them out as much as he possibly can, as much as he Zergly can.
And, well, these Hellions are kicking ass.
Look at
Tasteless.
this. He's actually split up those drones so well.
Yeah,
I'm actually so stunned.
He's done it about as well as you can, but look at this. Now up they come.
And he's actually he hasn't lost any drones yet. He could get sandwiched here.
He still has an okay amount of drones. He is getting drops and roach speed. So we're definitely going to see something pretty strong.
Oh my god,
coming up.
he cleaned it up.
He did indeed.
That
All
was
right.
actually really good.
He lost 13. There you go. 13.
Considering he breached the main, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And roach speed's about to finish. He has a lot of roaches. We do have a siege tank with no siege mode. Another siege tank about to pop. But the thing is, drops are on the way. So
Yeah. He's
last
going to
game I
pressure the
really
front and drop the main.
Yeah. But this is definitely going to be a siege tank marine timing coming out of MVP. He has 2 reactive marines. He has 2 factory siege tank. I don't think this attack is actually going to do anything for Nesty.
Well, it looks like he's just backed off. He said, all right, now you know I'm not afraid to go up there with the roaches.
He's making a lot of units still. Banelings as well. He's getting speed for his overlords. He has all his overlords clumped up, so we're definitely going to see a lot of drops coming on. He's making nothing but units, no drones in production. He's only at 36 against 40 SCVs now. So Nesty looks like he's going to all-in counter here. You realize he's taking a lot of damage, but he's killed off a lot of units, and he may be able to actually break MVP here. This is a very ballsy choice, but that, of course, is what Nesty is made of.
He's made of balls of choice.
He's made of balls of yarn. That's why cats love him, Tasteless.
What?
Cats and old women. All right, let's do this. Nesty
All
with
right.
a huge drop, but there's 3 bunkers.
He's going to Baneling bomb, I think, maybe the SCVs. We'll see, though. I might be wrong. No, I am
Gonna
wrong.
drop all over, but will he lose any overlords before they get out? No, he won't. Oh my god, the SCVs just can't get into repair, but the Roach is taking insane amounts of damage. Siege tanks from all angles, and he might want to just pick up and go home.
Backs off. Now, he did reset the siege tank count, so it's back down to 3.
Yeah, he did quite a bit. And, I mean, there's 47 SCVs against 36 drones. He killed off a lot of Marines. So the timing attack will come a lot later. And he's put the threat of drops in there. You know?
You'll see if he drops again here.
Oh, he's going for a Baneling drop, Tasteless. And there's a lot of SCVs. Oh, my God, there's a lot of SCVs. all clumped up. And he's starting a drone, Tasis. He's making a drone. Nesty's making a drone. This means that he's actually going to go into a macro game.
He's now making 7 drones, actually.
Oh my god.
Evolution chamber on the way.
They sure multiply quickly. And he does have 2 Banelings and a Roach going towards the main Tasis. If he can get a nice Baneling drop-off on these SCVs, get his economy in the lead, that's going to be just spectacular for him. And here we go in the main base. Oh my god, MVP's so quick. He's so
Oh,
quick.
is he going to fake it with these Overlords?
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. Didn't work though. Nesty's like, all right, you're smart, MVP.
Well, talk about really nice defense from MVP. MVP starting to get a little bit of a lead here. Nesty hasn't had the time to have his economy pick up.
Well, the timing that's going to come out of him, Tasis, is going to be unbelievably frightening. We might even see base trade scenario. We have Baneling Spear on the waist, a couple hatches for Nesty as well. I almost wish that he would make a hatchery somewhere else because he sees the unit composition of MVP. It's Siege Tanks and Marines. There's not even Medivacs. If he makes a hatchery on the very left of the map...
He's going to get the drop-off.
Oh.
It's going to work. Oh, my God. That's all he needed to do there.
That was great. That was very nice. Now 44 SCVs against 55 drones. He's taking the lead there.
Yeah.
But, as I was saying, I mean, if he takes a base in the bottom left against someone with no Hellions and no Medivacs, it's not going to die. Okay?
Yeah, there's no way.
And if they go into base trade scenario where MVP's main has its back to Nesty, so Nesty can easily just, when MVP moves out with this unstoppable force of tanks and Marines and Marauders, he can drop everything there, try a base trade scenario, and he'll have a base across the map, which oftentimes is what leads you to victory in such a situation. So I really wish he'd make a hatchery over on that side of the map. The end. The end of my
By
speech.
Artosis.
By Artosis.
Well, I
First
love
grade.
I love MVP's base spread here. I mean, he's just got to look at that defense everywhere. There's nowhere that he can actually drop. But it has intimidated MVP into not taking a third base. So oddly enough, even though there were a good amount of drones killed, the way that Nesty's behaved has forced MVP to be a little bit defensive, and only now
The timing's coming.
is he moving out. At 141 supply to 135, he's going to try to hold this.
This is scary, man.
What made him turn
This
around
push,
there?
I don't know, actually.
Oh, I think excuse me. I believe he actually flew an Overlord in there for a second to make it look like a drop was occurring, and then backed up.
He actually just sieged right back
What?
up. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
He has a drop coming out now. And in fact, a Medivac's trying to fly into it, but the turret sees and does turn it around. Oh, you know what? He's actually afraid of the base trade scenario, so he's going to make some turrets and stuff to try to stop it.
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the push is moving out. He's got more supply than ST, 162, 152. This is akin to the winter coming in Game of Thrones. This is actually the scariest thing in the entire world for what Nesty has right now. Nesty cannot crush that army. He just
Nesty needs to
cannot
back
do
up.
it.
He needs to back up, back up, back up. He's
Yeah.
not. And that actually may cost him in the long run.
Yeah, he
That's
just
a lot
lost
of stuff
a
he
ton
got
of units
killed
and
there.
killed almost nothing. I really think Nesty's going to lose this one, man.
Yeah, that
He
push.
just is not prepared for this. He does not have Burrow for trying Baneling bombs. He does not have really any units for killing off this army. This is like the death army, man.
He just shot his own siege tank. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He just straight up shot his own siege tank down. All right. Well, he's got to be careful, though, because this death ball, if he miscontrols it, could be killed. But I'm on the same page as you are, Toast. I just don't see Nesty stopping this.
No, I see this killing him, man.
All right, and MVP's been smart. He waited until he had a strong army to move out with the reinforcements. There is a good amount of mutas, but you have to get all those Marines with the Banelings. That's the only way.
And, well, here we go.
It's now or never.
Ah, the Marauders stay put, and that was gross. Looks like
That's CG. That's no way. He shut down all the Banelings. They didn't do the damage they're supposed to do. Nesty trying to surprise him with Banelings coming down the second time. Not going to happen.
Nesty very, very dead right now, making another clump of Banelings. If he can hit the Marines, then his mutas can clean up.
That's why.
And don't forget, it's two base only for his opponent. So
Now, he might want to try to bait the Marines in there and then go back. No, actually, I guess he can't do that. There's enough Marines everywhere.
They do have 1-1 in stim. There are a few medevacs out there. And he has to remake the Baneling Nest. That's painful.
All right, here we go. No, we don't.
He's eventually just going to have to go.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I hope he attacks before the third hatchery is destroyed, or second hatchery, I suppose. This one we have a shot of here. All right,
Well,
and MVP knows there's a small timing here. He's got to get that hatchery. It looks like he's actually going to give it up.
Yeah. Nesty actually is making a lot of Zerglings still. His supply is going above MVP's momentarily. Of course, it's probably going to go back in MVP's favor because Nesty's going to lose a ton of units.
Oh, he's going to get these medevacs, maybe. Ooh,
almost.
No, but that was nice little timing there.
He's doing what he can.
What is the energy on the medevacs? Are they still able to heal? Not really.
They're getting a little bit lower. And look at this. Oh my God.
MVP's so
This
good.
is a decision very few people could make. Decides not to go up into that creep-filled area.
Yeah, he's just going to turn around.
He's going to walk around the other side of it all. And, oh, Nesty, starts to go. Decides not to. Kills Siege Tank, loses a Muta. Making trades where he can for what he can.
Well, he's continuing to edge down here. Looks like this is a bad rally here, though. It's now, remember, guys, 2 base against 2 base. Nesty's remaking that base.
Oh, here he goes! A ton of Banelings and Zerglings just rolling right in. The Mula's in the back.
Can he get the Banelings? Hit the Marines. He needs to hit the Marines.
Oh, and
actually, that's
he
enough.
might
He
have
just did
enough
it.
here.
What? Are you serious?
Nesty!
Who is this guy?
He's the stallion which is going to mount the world, Tasteless. That's who.
This guy is actually so good. He is now 88 supply for MVP, 137 here for Nesty. And you can see he's actually debating. He's just going to check around here, see if there's any openings. I can't believe those Marines tried to move into that. Well, I mean, Nesty's still in this. I was positive after I saw that initially all those Banelings not connect in the first attack.
He has 138 supply against 95, in fact. That's pretty good. But the base count is something that matters a lot as well. Nesty's main is mined out, so is MVP's. MVP's natural is going to be gone pretty soon here.
Now, what he needs to do is just deny this third base.
Yeah, he can do that, man.
Oh my God, he's so good. Just taking a few little chips here and there. He could have killed that tank, but he would have lost more mutas. It would have been a bad trade. Nesty staying calm, staying collected, staying focused. He really wants this.
He does want it, Tasteless. He wants it so bad, he can taste it. Nesty's entire body is a tongue, Tasteless. He's the opposite of you, Tasteless.
All right, he's moving here once again. He knows if he just picks up a few siege tanks, when the Banelings come in, there's nothing to protect the Marines. The Marines can just run.
In fact, there's only 3 siege tanks out in front there. And none in production, in fact. He may just be able to go in and kill with Banelings pretty soon here.
All right. MVP knows what's going on, so all he can do is just try to defend the best he can. It's 161 supply to 101 right now. Nesty certainly realized he can do a lot more damage than he initially thought. He is wearing the stims out here for...
Energy's really low on the medevacs.
Yeah.
Very, very low indeed.
I mean, they're not going to be able to do much more healing here. I see another stim. MVP feeling the heat right now.
And Nesty decides it is time.
All right, he's moving up there. The Marines may find themselves cornered.
Oh my God, the Banelings, Tasteless. The Marines see him rolling. And he actually good control by MVP right there.
that was actually, talk about coming down to the wire here. I think actually, unless I'm mistaken, I think the Mutas actually could do more damage to the Marines than Nesty's.
I think he's just being super careful, knowing that he's way ahead, and that as long as he's careful here, he should be good.
All right, getting a lot of SCVs. This expansion now naked. MVP rushing up here to stim. Don't forget,
Nesty with his mutas saying, MVP, you can't be everywhere. And MVP says, why? And he's like, because I'm already there.
He's actually already doing it, man. This is actually such a good game. All right, Nesty now going to go. He might actually try to hit the orbital. All right. And actually, I think there's a moment now where he's like, wait a minute, I can actually... All right, I kill the orbital, I move out. MVP, although that expansion mined out, that's going to be less mules, less scans, less SCVs if he wanted to make from that command center. Another forced stim. Nesty looking very in control of this game. More Lings
is.
coming in here.
Oh, man. And I think that's going to be
That's
a
it.
GG.
GG. Nesty actually is so good. What?
Tasteless. Nesty is Jupiter. He sucks in little asteroid nerds to save the Earth, all right?
He does, man. Ooh, that was actually a very smart
Nesty
joke.
is the sun. He makes us warm.
Nesty's actually like Zeus.
Nesty can throw firebolts.
Unless he's swimming in the pool, then he's Poseidon.
That's right. When he's in the basement, he's Hades. When he's lifting weights, he's Hercules.
Yeah. Dude, he is. It's actually pretty.
Everyone
impressive.
thought, admit it, everyone thought MVP would win.
We did.
And now Nesty's up 2-1 with like sick nerd baller play, man.
So good. I actually
So
can't,
good.
I cannot quite emphasize
How good he is?
how good that play was. Look, I was positive he was going to lose after we saw the hatchery go down. I'm like, all right. And then I see MVP do the very smart move of looping around. You know, he could have gone home too, but just looping around to try to get the expansion or get into a different position that would behoove him instead of going onto the creep. And Nesty actually destroyed it in that moment. I can only imagine like MVP's jaw drop where he's just like, what? Like, wow.
But MVP, I mean, this guy is actually as good as Nesty.
He is.
Like-
He's very good. MVP.
I think it's going to go to the 5th game, man.
I hope it
Pretty
does.
certain of it. Pretty darn
Damn.
sure, man.
It's pretty impressive.
I know, it's
It's-
something else.
Pretty wild.
We are actually watching like the greatest series ever.
I
Every
know.
time they face, it's actually the greatest series ever. Because it's like more recent, so they're both better than before, which is like hard to fathom.
Yeah, and it's like the metagames like evolved more, and these guys somehow are going to continue to get better. I don't know how that's possible, but that's
No, I know.
actually the case.
So you could actually freeze Nesty in a glacier, thaw him out in 5 years when we have both StarCraft 2 expansions and there's all these new units he's never seen, sit him down in the GSL and he wins.
Yeah.
With the same units from the first one. They,
He, like,
took
does-
out, they took out the Baneling. He's like, oh, this is going to be a little bit harder now. He still wins. That's what would probably happen, Tasteless.
Yeah. It's true.
But he doesn't want to be frozen in glacier. He wants to see if he can get up to triple-digit GSL wins.
Look, man, MVP is in a tough position. The map is Daybreak. I'm not Daybreak, excuse me, Dual Sight. And I'm really wondering if we're going
Oh
to
my
see
God.
these guys take the gold base right away.
You know what? Dual Sight, this is a perfect map for Nesty.
It is.
Because he has Dual Sight. He's like a chameleon. He can look 2 places at once, Tasteless.
Not as well as Monocle Chameleon can.
Tasteless, Monocle Chameleon normally rides around on Nesty's shoulder.
Oh, my God.
Okay, with his little top hat. Nesty puts his top hat on, and they go out, and they drink expensive whiskeys.
Scotch. They drink Scotch. Yeah.
Scotch, yes, Scotch whiskeys.
MVP, though, so
They
good.
only eat hors d'oeuvres. Who eats a main course? They eat hors d'oeuvres, Tasteless.
It's time for the 4th game between MVP and Nesty. 2 teammates, 2 legends, the 2 best players in the world. The winner moves on to the round of 4. Let's see what happens here at the